Good evening, everyone. We are happy that you could join us today. I'm Donna Campbell, Advocacy Chair for Arizona Association for Gifted and Talented. And today I have with me Scott Hagerman, who is a member of the Board of Directors of AAGT and the Financial Officer. In addition, he is the Superintendent at Tanca Verde Schools. Thank you, Scott, for being here. And
Hello.
Julie Gunnigle, who is the past president of Arizona Association for Gifted and Talented, and members of the Advocacy Task Force. So we're here today to ask you to voice your support of House Bill 2817, which will be heard in the Senate Appropriations hearing tomorrow. So this is a bill with similar language to the one that we had asked you to support before, but it has now moved to the Senate and it is called a striker bill. Julie, would you please inform us what all that means?
Yes, to translate from legislative gobbledygook to real world stuff. A striker bill just says, hey, you know, all of that language that was in this bill that made it through presumably both chambers of the Arizona legislature. Guess what? We didn't mean that. We meant something completely different. And sometimes they're bad, but sometimes they are really, really good. And I could not be more excited to support this bill. Donna and I have been going down to the Capitol, we're like 7 years now. We started when my son was in kindergarten. And guess what? He is of the age to enter high school next year. And we still have not fully funded gifted education in our state. And this bill goes a long way towards doing that. And it's one of the reasons we need your support. I know that Scott's going to explain to us exactly what this bill does and why this is our best shot at funding gifted education in over a decade.
Okay, so great. So what I want to talk about is what a Group B weight is. When you look at the bill, it talks about Group B weights. So in our Arizona school funding system, it's really complex. Let's break it down to like the simplest part of it. There's essentially a math formula. You start off with the number of kids in your district, and then all those kids get like a Group A weight. And so you take the 2,000 kids in Tanca Verde, and then they count as a certain number in the A weight. And then you do this an additional factor where you get an extra points. And for kids that have extra unique situations, so if a student is a K2 reader, the kid has an English language learning kind of need, or they have special needs, then you get additional points, additional weights for that area. And so what this bill does is add a weight for gifted education. So every single year, we don't have to go back every single year. It's just in the formula that kids, your gifted kids in your district get additional funding based on how the formula works. And I guess we should add up, so they're mixing an incentive to like identify kids that are gifted. And another component of it that's been added as an amendment, but was added on the House side, is essentially having the state purchase screeners so that we can do universal screening in school districts. And that means in second grade, we can screen all second graders to see who could be potentially gifted. And what's great about that is that one of the biggest challenges is making sure we identify everyone, especially when we're trying to, how do we do it in the most equitable way? How do we make sure we find all the kids who need that support that we ensure that kids get? So that's the biggest thing. So essentially the B weight ensures ongoing support for gifted kids, and then the screener gets an opportunity to really make sure we find all the kids out there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I think too that, with the universal screening, we are reaching out to kids and casting a wider net where we're going to find everybody with talents or potential to achieve at a high level, that we can nurture those talents, nurture those gifts, and make sure that they get the appropriate education that they need. So this is a really big deal here, and we really need your voice. And in order for you to make a difference, in the comment section, Heather has put the information to contact the members of the Senate Appropriations Committee who will be discussing this, who will be voting on it tomorrow, to tell them what you think, that this is a good idea to support this bill. It's important for our children. It's important for districts to be able to plan for a K-12 comprehensive gifted program. And we really need your help in doing that. So Julie, can you tell us a little bit more about how we should go about getting all of this done?
Yeah, so first, this is it, y'all. If you haven't been involved up to this point in the legislative session, this is the most crucial time from now until 8:30 in the morning tomorrow to get out, to send those emails, to use the RTS system. I'll circle back to that in one hot second, and to show your support for gifted education. First, your emails really matter. We're not looking for you to write an entire essay about why gifted education is important to you. Instead, we need you to just briefly tell your story. 4 or 5 sentences max is what we need. And let me tell you how much of a difference it makes. Because in the years that we have gone to the legislature, Donna and I have heard legislators tell us our stories back to us. They remember them. They remember our kids. They remember those moments. And you doing that might be the story that makes the difference in a legislator's mind in funding these hugely important programs. So send those emails. For bonus points, get on the RTS system. RTS stands for Request to Speak. Now, if you want to speak, that's great too. And the agenda has some ideas for how you can participate remotely if you wanted to go to the hearing tomorrow. But the Request to Speak system is also like the like button for legislation down at our Arizona legislature. So if you have a Request to Speak account, please, would you please register to speak in favor of this bill? You don't actually need to speak, but just click that yes button that you are in favor. It means more than you would think, because these legislators look at that too. And right now we have a tremendous amount of support for bill number. Donna, hit me with the striker number.
It is 2817.
28. Doesn't that sound lucky? That sounds lucky. I think this is going to be our year, but it won't be our year unless we all pull together during this crucial last, like, little over 12 hours. So please do what you can. Send those emails, like our bill, and let's go get this done for our kids for the first time in over a decade.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you both for being here. We appreciate it. And let's go. Let's get this done. Thanks a lot. Have a good evening.